What is going on, fellas, and welcome back to the Director of Football Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays, on Football Manager 21. With Wigan, we are starting our championship season, and today we're taking on Wycombe and Millwall. We're going to skip over the FA Trophy game, I think it is, or Carabao Cup. The Carabao Cup. Can't play in the FA Trophy anymore. We're in the championship now. We are going to skip over the Carabao Cup game because I don't think it makes a difference. If you missed yesterday's episode, then you won't know what transfers we have made. But we are going into this one, as you can see, on a fairly decent run of form in the friendlies. Drawing our first two weren't great, but we beat Annan, Rotherham, who are in the championship, and Bray Wanderers in the Money League, then beat Sassuolo, and then lost to Werder Bremen. So, decent form. Dynamics-wise, everything is quite good. Obi, still not happy with the fact he's not got a deal to reflect his ability, and he's been quite annoyed for quite a while. So we're going into this game hopeful, I want to say. Yeah, there's no point looking at the changes because it was a friendly we played in the last one. So for this match, we have Dillo in goal, Dackers, Cogley and Pearce as our wing-backs, Obi and Roberts starting as our centre-backs, Evans and Butcher in central midfield, Solomon Adebor on the right with Wheeler on the left, Stansfield and Cassidy up front. We're trying Stansfield as a complete forward and see what he can do. Cassidy as an advanced forward. I have an idea of how I might use Cassidy if I decide to use Stansfield as the complete forward. But we're going into this one. I'm going to have a look at the old opposition. My new assistant manager, not great. I feel like Richardson was a better one, but what can you do? We've a couple of new players that are unsure as to how to play in this formation or how we've set up. Not too worried about it. They'll learn. They'll have to learn if they want to stay in the team. And the Wycombe team, the Wycombe manager, Gareth Ainsworth, left at the end of last season to take over at Blackburn Rovers, which I found interesting because he managed to get Wycombe promoted and then left at the end of the season. Not sure why you do that, but you know, each to their own. He obviously had a plan. That was a nice tackle by one of our players, but Wycombe take the lead within the first 5 minutes. Nick Freeman scoring his first of the season. Obviously, it's the first game. I'm just going to change this. I don't really care about that. So we're just going to swap to their formation. Freeman, their central midfielder, scored. But Dackers Cogley has a throw-in just short of 8 minutes in. Gets headed away, but Evans picks it up. Into Pearce, and he's hit the post. And Wycombe managed to get a clear only as far as Butcher making his debut today. And we've won a corner. Can we do something with the corner is the next question. It's still a highlight, so we must do something with it. Obi can't get there. Stansfield, sitting outside the area, gets hacked down by Gape. And he gets away without a booking. Solomon aims for 6'6" Obi, in case you didn't know. He's quite the tall centre-back. Originally, he wasn't supposed to be starting today, but I kind of decided we'll see what happens. Get him involved. Because if he plays well enough in this game, their XG is 0.05. Adam Lallana still playing for Brighton. Evans wins the ball. Stansfield very deep. Pearce to Butcher. Gets dispossessed by Gape. Gape is their hard-working, tackling midfielder who just seems to be involved in everything. Evans manages to get the ball clear. Cassidy picks it up. Through to Stansfield. Stansfield's on the run. And he's put it wide. Last season that would have been guaranteed goal. Not so much this year. But I am going to be very angry with the lads at half-time because we really should not be losing against Wycombe. I know we came up with them last year, but we were much better than them last season. And I think we've only gotten stronger. But that was a terrible attempt by Solomon Adebor. And Wycombe are on the attack again. Solomon Adebor with the tackle nothing comes of it, and Dillo manages to keep a hold of it, who did get a contract in the summer. I don't know if I mentioned that to you. Probably did. But yeah, there was a lot of contracts signed in the summer. Plenty of people getting lots of money, which was interesting to see because most of our players were on under 1,000. I think Lee Evans and Gavin Massey were the only ones over 1,000 a week. And now we have Connor Wickham, who's getting like, what's 4,600 a week, which is mental. So we have an XG of 0.99 to their XG of 0.21, and they're winning. I'm going to thrash my arms. I am far from pleased with that. That was a terrible start. Obi's having a poor game. Wheeler's not having a great game. And Stansfield's not having a great game. Okay, so we're going to swap the strike force positionally a little bit. It's going to get him an advance forward. I'm going to make Cassidy a trequartista. Let's see if that does anything for him. Because why not? You know, it's the first game of the season. Might as well test out these things. We haven't changed this formation. It's just a couple of new players in. And it looks like it's not working for us. They have a target man pressing forward up top. They keep swapping around. Okay, we're making a change because this second half, nothing has happened. Stansfield's playing terribly. Obi's playing terribly as well. We're going to bring on Beckles to play as the centre-back. Wheeler's not having a great game. Do I take off Stansfield? Yeah, we're bringing on Wickham. We're just going to swap them around. Wickham's going to play as a target man because he can't really do anything else. And I think we leave it at that for just the time being. We're going to berate the lads in the hopes that they do something. Okay, not long left. And we're still playing terribly. So Wheeler, you were coming off for Alec Marshall. I'm going to swap the two wingers. We are going to go attacking. More direct. Stop working the ball into the box. Oh. We can aim for the target man. We're not really able to do anything else in that. So we're just going to go out there, lads, and do something. Connor Wickham making his debut today. I'm going to berate them again because we should. I can't believe we lost to Wickham on the opening day of the season. Roberts and Pearce played well. So that's good. Hayden Roberts picking up our best performer. Thrash my arms. Not pleased with that. That was shocking. What a terrible showing. The lads certainly cannot be happy with the result. I'm not happy with that. So we're going to skip as I said, the Harrogate game. We're going to come back from Millwall. We'll be back in just a second for that. So it's now time to take on Millwall. But we've had a couple of transfers in the meantime. Alex Perry, I put him on the unwanted list to see if that'll get rid of him. Barnes have come in with an 88k offer for him. Jaakko Oksanen is, after being offered a contract to join us, he's also been offered a contract by Walsall and Crew. And we brought in Charlie Wiggett. So, since you saw last, Charlie Wiggett's come in. He's off on loan at York now. Came in straight back out on loan. I put him up straight away on the loan list because he's not going to get first team football. But it'd be handy to see if he does well in a different team. Charlie Creswell has come in and already made his debut and played really rather well against Harrogate. And Corbin Mitchell from Spennymoor. 5-star potential according to my scouts, I think. And my coach, who's doing... Yeah, Rob Edwards reckons he is potentially 2.5 star. So that's interesting to see. But we also loaned out Gershla, has gone to Halifax. I think he started the last game. Yeah, he started the last game and then just instantly got sent to Halifax on loan. We did beat Harrogate 3-0. Fairly comfortable game. Obviously enough, they're a League 2 team. We're a championship side. We should be winning that one comfortably. And we did. And we drew Stoke in the second round. So I don't think there's any point in us coming back to look at that game because we're not going to win it, probably. Alec Marshall scored a brace and El Mizuani scored as well. We did rotate. Try to click on that. We did bring in a couple of players in this game just to kind of see how they get on. Allsop made his debut after not playing for the second half of last season. And Connor Wickham came in for the game. El Muzzini. Who else? Cresswell made his debut. So we're going into this game against Millwall hoping that we can do better than we did last time, because we did not play well in our last game. We're still without some players. Stansfield has picked up an injury, picked it up just after the Wickham game. So we're down to 2 strikers in the first team. Really need a striker to come into the team just as a backup option, if nothing else, just so we have an extra striker, because Connor Wickham is currently on a 6.54. It's not really working out all that well for him at the moment. But we're starting with very few changes in today's game compared to the Wickham game. Cresswell starts at centre back. El Muzzini is going to come in because he scored in the last game, played quite well. Marshall is going to start on the right because Solomon Odobor, he's been and Marshall played really well in the last game. And obviously Connor Wickham starts up front because, like I said, we only have 2 strikers. Probably should change my formation so we only have 1 striker playing up front, but we're not going to do that because that would be smart. This Millwall team, Gary Rowett is the manager. They've Alex Mowat is quite good. Jordan Huggle shouldn't have any issues. He's not very good at football, so can't imagine we're going to lose this one. I'm going to tell the lads to pick up where they left off last time. They don't really care. I'm just going to say I have a bit of faith in all of them, but I'm going to pump my fists for the strikers, and they don't care. I feel like our strike force is not one for scoring many goals, so we do need to rely more so on our wingers coming in, because that seems to be how we did an awful lot of our work in the last game. Cresswell heads just over. I don't know if I told you Obi got a new contract. I can't remember if that happened in the in-between bits, but Obi has a new contract. And Wheeler's coming forward. Can Wickham get there? Connor Wickham, never doubted him. The man's an absolute monster. Starting for Wigan. I'm a fan of Connor Wickham. I don't think he's good enough in FM to be a starting striker, but here he is, scoring goals as a target man. Something we never use because target man's for lower league. We've given the lads a bit of encouragement and it's frustrated a lot of them. We've picked up 2 yellow cards to Millwall's 2 yellow cards. And that was just a very poor attempt by our defence. And thankfully Dillo's there to push it behind for a corner. That was, keeper just booted it out and our defence just kind of decided, nah, we're not going to bother heading it. Interesting. The Cresswell's debut was, to be fair, quite good. They but then again, League 2 side, Cresswell's a guy on loan from a Premier League side who's actually good enough to play in the Championship. Connor Wickham back doing a nice bit of defensive work. Evans gets it through to Wheeler, puts it through to Cassidy. At the start of this game, I said our strike force don't score. They've both scored. Very unexpected, but we need to keep. I'm going to have to say to the lads at halftime, we need to stay focused because I'm weary that we're going to let the lads let Millwall back into it, and I don't really want that to happen. But then again, why would anyone want their opposition to get back into the game? So I'm going to pump my fists and say, I know you're capable of even better. No, they don't care. I'm going to try and motivate the players. I'm happy with your effort in the final third. They don't care. Okay. One thing I was considering was maybe taking Hayden Roberts, playing him as the left back, and then popping someone else in at centre back. And that way we could have an abundance of good players. Because Tom Pearce, still, even though it says he supports me, he does not like me. He's distant. And Dillo manages to make a save there, which I did not think he was going to. Yeah, the trying to decide. Tom Pierce doesn't really get along with me. So I'm kind of hoping, I'm trying to get rid of the players that are like, have a poor relationship with me to try and move them out of the team for obvious reasons. Because if a player doesn't get on with the manager, kind of want to get rid of them. But he's not been disruptive. They have a wide target, man. What are Millwall up to? Thankfully, they've headed just over this time. El Mozini is going to come off for McHugh. Alec Marshall is struggling, so we're bringing on Massey in his position. Do we change anything else? Not right now. We'll leave it as it is. 2-0 with 15 minutes left. It's handy. And Evans picked up an injury. Alright, so Matt Butcher, you're coming on, and that is all 3 substitutions. I'm glad I didn't make that change now. Confirm subs. If we had made all 3 subs and then ended up going down to 10 men, I would have been less than impressed at the end. Corner to Millwall, as it says on the bottom. Not going to see anything that's actually happening. Sam Hutchinson's having a good game. McHugh picks up the ball. I think this is his first championship game. Obviously it is because it's only our second game of the season. Dackers Cogley with a lovely tackle, but falls to a Millwall player. And Adam Lewis. That was a tad bit too easy. Dillo could have done an awful lot better there, but didn't. And now we've squeaky bum time for the final 4 minutes, but we have finished the game 2-1. Dillo, unfortunate to concede. Marshall, a little disappointed. We can see Pierce playing a 6.8. Then again, Dackers Cogley didn't play much better. The best thing is that Hendry is coming back from his injury. He shouldn't be too far away from getting his debut. And then we could have what I would expect to be our new starting right back actually starting. Peterborough managed to lose against Brighton. Brentford beating Wickham. So the two of the 3 teams that got promoted lost, which in the first game it was just us that lost. How long is Evans' injury? Oh, it's a fractured wrist. That's not good. They're disappointed with what? Everything was increasing before that match. After this match, drops. What is going on? So what are we going to do in the next episode, I hear you ask? I think we come back for West Brom Swansea. West Brom are 19th in the league. That is mental. Or do we take on Swansea Brighton? Swansea are 23rd. What is going on? I know we're only 2 games in, but still. You'd expect these kind of teams to be higher up. So maybe we come back for West Brom Swansea or Swansea Brighton. It'll be 2 of these 3 games, because they seem like the most interesting games in September. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. Share with all of your friends, and I will see you in the next one.